All right, guys. What's up? Welcome to episode 41 Planet Xbox Podcast. We are, we took a little break, but we're gonna, close out the year right. Just to kind of give you a heads up, this is not the last podcast of the year. There is going to be another episode next week, New Year's Eve. That falls on the 30th. Damn, what's up with all these in memoriams on Twitter today? Let me get out of here. It's depressing. But yes, welcome back, everyone. Shout out to the panel here. I am your host, the Best Bot Kid Smooth. We got Dope Boy Jay. What's going on?
What's good, guys? Dope is Jay here. Another week of podcasting. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your gaming. I just recently got my Xbox Series X, so now I have an Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. I'm currently working on my PS5 review, then I'm going to start my Xbox Series X review right afterwards. So I'll let you guys know my initial thoughts during the podcast of the Xbox Series X.
Hey, we're definitely going to ask about that, for sure. For sure. And just as some mic checks to make sure I'm not like ultra loud. Are we good, or am I too loud?
Should be fine to us.
All right, cool. What about the people there in the chat? Man, we got a couple things to talk about, but before we get into that, shout out to Chris Righteous.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Another week, another episode. We weren't here last week, so there's things we need to catch up on, but hopefully it's not too long for everybody. I don't want this. I'm sure Smooth don't want this episode to be too long, but yeah, you know what I mean. Shout out to everybody. Hope everybody stays safe. Coming up on this holidays, coming up on Christmas. You know what I mean? AKA Jesus' birthday. You know what I mean? I don't care if it offends y'all. I'm gonna say it. But other than that, man, yeah, man, just waiting on, me and my wife to get our stimulus checks. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Get a PS5.
Well, you waiting on the 600 or the 2K? Which one?
Nah, the 2K. The 2K.
Oh, yeah.
2K. Yeah, but they're saying it person, so it's like, because last time me and my wife, we got our own separate ones, like 1200.
Yeah.
If we can get $4,000 out of it, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that would be nice, man. If we get another decent stimulus, you know what I mean? It might buy me 4 more Xbox Series X's. So we'll see what it do. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. Shout out though to Walmart.com and BestBuy.com.
Hey, do it, man, and give one to me.
Hey, you know what I mean? I actually just secured a Series S for my uncle. It's his birthday today, so he's been trying to get on, and so he's gonna have a little wait for him, but we got one. NickBanks got one secured. Should be coming through in a week. So I know everybody likes to laugh and joke around that Series consoles are in stock. I mean, every now and then the Series S comes in stock, but if you wait a little bit too long, they will sell out. But here's a trickery behind it, by the way, just to give you guys a heads up. A lot of people is fronting right now. But the trickery is when you go to like Walmart, they'll post it, right? But it won't be shipping until January 26th and stuff. So that Swans, I ain't forget about you. I'm about to put throw you in a minute. But they'll try to. That's how they're doing it. These aren't even consoles in stock. These are just literally like we should have one by this date. So let's forecast 32 days out and be safe. I think that's what's taking place. But shout out to Swans, man. How you doing?
Yo, I ain't even going fake right now. January 26th for your boy.
Here we go. Let's get it.
He got it. He got
That's
it.
another one.
He got it.
Let's go, baby.
You got the S or the X?
Nah, the S. Shit, I'm good with the
That
S.
is
baby.
secured. Welcome to next gen, brother.
I'm very cause when y'all said that they were there, I was thinking that it's like a specific store near you. Or near somebody.
No, Best Buy is doing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when I went there, clicked on it, and put it in the cart, all of that, and the drink stayed there. I was like, all right, we in the bag. Then. It's it actually stayed there, went through, got the January 26th date. It may arrive earlier, but I hope it arrive earlier. But yeah, I'm fucking finally, dog. That shit is.
Let's get it.
Yeah, so
60.
Who that?
Ain't that Nick?
NickBanks in the building. Nick, what are you on? Are you on fucking like Obama phone? Like, what's going on? So hopefully, you know, he'll come through. But happy to have NickBanks in the house. But yeah, so let's get into the episode. Like I said, we don't expect to hold you guys, and I apologize for like burning 10 minutes of your time. I hate letting 10 minutes of intros play, but I was in the middle of ordering an Xbox Series S, so that's what happened. I'm still trying to get. I want one more Series X for the simple fact that I need to know for sure that it's 2K and not simply my Xbox. Where I want to play 2K. The only way I can play 2K is on the Series S. I can't play it on my Series X because it shuts it off. And I want to say if I get a hold of another Series X console and play the same game and see if the same thing happens. If it happens to another Xbox, I would feel much better. And then I would just like, you know what, I just can't play this game. Ain't like I can refund it because I didn't buy it like outright. It was like I bought literally a review code. So, but yeah. So what's like? What should we tackle first?
I think since we didn't do one last week.
Yeah.
The Game Awards happened the week prior. You know, and we got those announcements and stuff like that from the Game Awards.
Yeah, that's true. Now,
dark.
Yeah. We can discuss that now. In terms of GOTY, the reason why I put GOTY 2020 GOTY, I wasn't referring to the Game of the Year awards. I just wanted to know what you guys' personal Game of the Year was, which I guess we could discuss at the end of the show. But yeah, Game of the Video Game Awards happened obviously 2 weeks ago. Pretty much The Last of Us kind of swept everything, pretty much from my last memory. It was either The Last of Us or Ghost of Tsushima that won the awards.
Yeah, The Last of Us 2 won every award. It was in the set music.
Yeah.
That's it.
And whatever award The Last of Us didn't win, Ghost of Tsushima had seemed to won. So I mean, it was a good day for, you know, Sony, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, and a few independent studios that went home with some awards and whatnot. Microsoft actually had a couple nominations with Gears Tactics. Flight Sim won an award. Ori had I forgot what did they win anything? Or no, they went home empty-handed. Yeah,
which is crazy because
it is.
I heard nothing but a really good game, and plus I like those type of games anyway. So.
Yeah,
and I heard Ori was really dope.
Like it had some flaws in its launch, but I mean, like after they kind of like straightened it out, it was like everybody like really fucked with it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of crazy.
But there were some announcements. Honestly, there's a couple of announcements that are sticking in my head. Obviously, you know, this is Planet Xbox, so all the Xbox related announcements were kind of the ones that really stick through. I think we have some Game Pass updates that's going on. Every Yakuza game possible is going into Game Pass next month, right? Next month, right? Isn't it January 26th?
Yeah.
So we will have all the ones that are available on like PlayStation right there in Game Pass, and you know they've been Phil Spencer, whatever, you know, they've been doing their job to get all the Yakuza games over there. For those who are interested, I'm still, hopefully I'll be able to, you know, tackle or get access to Like a Dragon for probably Christmas or after Christmas. I'm just curious for that game. And
I need to play those games. Those games are fire, man.
I got you.
Those games are fire. I would suggest starting off at 0 or Kiwami 1. Yeah, I know 0 because you go in chronological orders, but I like Kiwami a little bit better because it was more condensed and more better paced. It was smaller, but yeah, man, the next one that needs to come, and I think is like super really good and super underrated is Judgment.
Yeah, Judgment looks. Judgment is interesting as well.
Judgment to show up.
Yeah, that'd be a nice grab. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I played that for the first time this year and I absolutely loved it, bro. I had a blast, man. That shit was a 9 out of 10.
For sure.
But Yakuza games, go play them. No, my bad. Go ahead.
No, shit. I was like, should I make my way downtown? Like I got
making my way downtown.
I got the collector's edition for Yakuza 6 on the PS4 when I started playing it from there. Like my bro, he was just like just start playing them, period. And so like I jumped in it there, but I never beat it there. So it's just like, and I still got my collector's edition. It was fire. So I mean, like the game, yeah. Shit, I'm ready just to like continue that journey with those games now. Though that they in Game Pass. Shit, I'm on Kiwami too. Shit, I'm just been falling out of like gaming and shit. Like I just haven't been like fucking around. Like I'm fucking on the Hivebusters right now. This thing is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is dope. All right, so there was a ton of like announcements. Obviously, Nier Replicant got a gameplay reveal trailer that is expected to early 2021. Yeah, at the Game Awards.
Oh, and actually, I want to say something about that real quick.
Sure.
Remember last week, or not last week, but the week before. Remember how I mentioned there was about like 3 or 4 Japanese RPG games that are coming out next year that are completely skipping out the Xbox? Well, Nier Replicant isn't one of those. That's coming to Xbox. Know that. Well, I'm just making sure anybody else, you know what I mean, because people want, you know what I mean, for y'all to, the perception for, so anybody, you know, who says that, hey, there's a community over here on Xbox that are willing to support these games and buy these games, you know, show out, man, show out when they come, because Nier Automata is an amazing game.
Which I'm going through right now. I just started on Xbox One.
Which is on
not Xbox One,
Game Pass, right?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. It's on Game Pass right now.
Yeah. So there's no excuse for anybody not to play that masterpiece and support this new Nier. Plus, it's by your favorite publisher, Smooth.
Oh man, get that
Square
dude out of here.
And also it's co-developed by your favorite developers too, Platinum Games.
Yeah.
So you gotta support them.
The Replicant, when they did the Tokyo Game Show, I know like a lot of Americans didn't watch it because it was just in Japanese, but when they showed the game, like they showed both an Xbox version and a PlayStation version. It was just that the PlayStation version got like the collector's edition, like it got like the white box, just like they got the black box.
Yeah.
So you got it. You secured the white box.
No, I haven't. It's up for pre-order right now at the Square Enix store. The collector's edition. But I'm gonna try to secure that. It's like 160.
Yeah, man, you gotta catch it before they should go up to like 900, like the black box. Like I looked for like some years for a bit, and I tried to get it on Amazon. Dude tried to get it to me for like $1,000 and some change. I was like, no. And so.
All right, so the next reveal was Century, Age of Ashes. This is piloting a giant dragon. Visually looks great. Looks awesome. And that is the beta is going to be like February 2021. I believe it's also a multi-platform game, if I'm not mistaken. I don't really care about the Nintendo stuff. The biggest announcement that I personally been looking forward to is the Initiative game.
The Nintendo stuff. Oh yeah,
that shit was really
funny. Good one.
Like
Sephiroth.
When they announced Sephiroth, like that shit, like I'll say, like that was probably my most favorite moment out of the whole Game Awards was like hearing that music, seeing that slash in the beginning, and seeing him, like the idea of him stabbing Mario. I literally, I'm not even gonna cap, I literally thought like they had my man stab him, and like I was like, so I was lost for words, bruh.
That's a reference.
What's his name? Sephiroth?
That's a reference. Yeah. No, but the reason why I bring that up is because I went crazy. I was doing a live reaction with Salty Falcast, but that video got like 10 copyright strikes because of the music. Yeah. So it got terminated.
Damn.
But, I went crazy because obviously y'all know I love FF7 or whatever. But also, there's Banjo-Kazooie in there, so like we see the badass villain like Sephiroth, right? Who can body anybody in our roster right there. Who
Wait, you said anybody? He can't body Steve from Minecraft. What you talking about, bro?
Shit,
Hey, yo,
body that
Steve.
motherfucker. But
Hey, Steve.
who would you like to see Smooth as far as like a character to come into like a Smash Bros like that?
I mean, honestly, I don't have a.
I know you don't play Smash.
I don't even
you
play
just
Smash. But
live.
if I was to pick a character, I'd like, I would like to see. I would pick like Chief or somebody. Chief or
One of the Gears guys.
Chief or they put
Nah,
or they
none of
put,
the Gears
or
are
put
too
Ori in
violent.
there. Put Ori in there. See how
Yeah,
Ori would do.
yeah.
You know?
Or yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm not really into the whole like Smash thing like I used to be back in the day. Like real back in the day. So, but yeah, I mean, they still finding ways to keep people excited. So. Obviously, I'm not big on Final Fantasy, so I really don't know who Sephiroth is, but I'm assuming he's from Final Fantasy VII. And but yeah, so that was a big hit. The next one was the Initiative showing off Perfect Dark. Finally, Perfect Dark was the. I was hyped, but the problem was I could not make the noise that I wanted to. I was in Merck's podcast again. He was doing a reaction show. I couldn't react the way I wanted to because one, my mic was on mute, and two, my wife was doing a video. And I think I screeched a little bit, and I screwed up her video. So she had to re-record it. So I was like, but you guys know, like, if you've been following my channel, or even my tweets, and it's just Perfect Dark has always been on top of my wish list. Now, the game that I believe we're getting isn't the version of Perfect Dark I would want. I mean, I think they got the character down pat. Yeah, she looks the way I want her to look, but I think the game is in first person still and not third person. And I personally, I would want like a third person action adventure, but I'll take a first person Perfect Dark. You know what I mean?
Why would they change it though?
I guess it's not
Right.
I guess it's more so that she's been away for long enough, and she has a character where you probably would better relate to Joanna as with her full figure there, like how Lara Croft and Sam Fisher and all this other shit. So in her world, her universe, it fits like pretty much like a third person action stealth game but I mean, I suppose you can do it in first person.
Got so many of those, bro.
We got, but then again, we don't. PlayStation has so many of those, right? So if this was like a multi-plat affair, like PlayStation got too many of those, but Xbox.
You got Control. You got what's that other game? Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but we don't have like a staple, a character of our own.
You're talking about like a first party
version, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now the thing is,
other than Gears,
I wouldn't mind. See, would negate the whole first person aspect would be if they're gonna do a robust multiplayer, because I enjoyed both Perfect Dark multiplayers, the original and Perfect Dark Zero. Perfect Dark Zero's multiplayer was underrated as fuck. So if it's gonna be multiplayer, then yes, then I'm all for it, because it'll be a legitimate first person shooter, and I want to see how they tackled it. But if it's like a single player experience only, then it's not that my hype is dead. It's just that I'm not that interested in a first person shooter that's single player only. You know what I mean? And it's Perfect Dark, so if it's Perfect Dark, then it has to be multiplayer, because some people believe Perfect Dark was a better game than GoldenEye, and the only people play GoldenEye, they only play the multiplayer, Yeah. So it's like that's where I figure, like, all right, if it's gonna be first person, sure, it could be an amazing first person experience, but they have to have like multiplayer there.
However,
it was rumored. It's rumored though. It's rumored that they're gonna have a multiplayer mode on it. Do you see the rumor?
Yeah. Didn't they say Coalition's helping out during the earlier rumors?
Probably. We don't know, but the game's still in early development, so we're not going to see any.
Yeah, the game is still a while. But for me personally, I mean, I played the original Perfect Dark on the N64, and I think the multiplayer was better than GoldenEye because it was newer. Because they pretty much fixed GoldenEye's, not fixed GoldenEye multiplayer, but everything that was wrong with GoldenEye's multiplayer. They addressed that with Perfect Dark. But Perfect Dark, the first one was good from what I can remember. The second one, or the one on the 360, I remember getting that at a pawn shop for like $7. And I played it for a little bit, but honestly, I don't remember if I liked it or not. I don't think I beat it or anything like that. So naturally, I'm interested I'm always interested when an old IP comes back, especially when a new team takes it over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is something that has been highly requested from Microsoft, right? Everybody's been like, yo, we want a Perfect Dark, Perfect Dark, Perfect Dark. So kudos to Microsoft finally bringing the IP back. Watch the trailer and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm interested and I'm intrigued, but am I excited? Not until we see gameplay, because I was the same with Smooth, like, because me and him were on the same boat. Like, we wanted a Perfect Dark, and we wanted like a third person, like Splinter Cell, right? Like a Splinter Cell type of Perfect Dark or whatever. But it's first person, and they said they're gonna do something different with it. So we'll see. We'll see if it's more about like going in a room and shooting everybody in, or trying to going in a room and seeing how to get to the next room or whatever, and unique creative ways using the gadgets and stuff like that. That
she used gadgets and
yeah.
But I feel y'all. Like, like I would have preferred.
Hold on.
Third person thing.
But yeah. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, the initiative, they got to prove themselves. Obviously, we always hear whenever they get a water boy from Rockstar or janitor.
Stop it.
You know what I mean?
Janitor, a water boy.
We always hear that. So it's supposed to be the super all-star team of devs or whatever. But we'll see. But like Jay said, early in development, and it's probably not gonna be here till like maybe 2022, 2023.
Yo, who's the failed movie producer that's working on God of War right now? Who's working on that?
Who you talking about?
Yo.
Yeah, who's the failed movie producer working on that game?
Cory Barlog?
No, I thought somebody else was writing. Some other failed movie producer was writing that game. Like, I kicked off the CW.
Did Corey move off of that? Like,
no, Corey's still on.
He's still on, but I don't think he's writing the game. I think somebody else is writing it and directing it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know.
I never heard that.
Santa Monica is pretty Trump type with that.
But this is about Perfect Dark. So what do y'all feel?
I think the game's gonna be lit. Go ahead.
No, because we was talking about first person, third person. But when you go back, you said you don't remember the 360 version, right, Chris?
Played it, but I don't remember that too much about it. I remember the first one.
It's on Game Pass.
It had a robust first person with a slight third person action type view to it. So like you would be in first person, but when you go in the cover, you be in the third person.
Yeah, third person.
Yeah, like Deus Ex.
Yeah, like Deus Ex. Actually, just like that. Yeah, I think I don't know, man. I'm looking at the team. I was listening to them talk. It seemed like they into it. So I don't know. I'm ready to see some.
At least they know what they want to do with the game. Unlike Rare, them motherfuckers don't know what they want to do with Everwild, and that's sad.
Keep Rare with that corner
right now. Yeah.
Rare is the studio, right? That have all these IPs that the rest of Xbox studios have to work on.
Pretty much it.
Pretty much.
I seen Everwild in 2019. I was like, yo, this looks awesome. The art style, everything. I wonder what they're gonna do with it. This year, they said we still don't know what we're doing with the game. We're trying to figure it out. I'm like, all right, like, what are we doing here now? What they might
went with Lionhead, dog.
I don't know.
Yo, he should
have got shut down.
No, they was up there smuggling in money from the beta. They got fired on their day off, son. Nah.
All right, and then after Perfect Dark, we got a look at Back 4 Blood, which is the spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead. It's made by Turtle Rock, 4-player co-op. I know the alpha went live on PC. I think Jay, you had access to that, right?
No, I didn't get access to it, but I've been looking at gameplay extensively of the game, right? And here's what I have to say: they are charging $60 for that game, right?
Whoa.
And yes, they are charging $60 for that. From what I've seen, no. Here's the thing. All right, it's a first-person zombie game, right? The zombie types are interesting, right? But the game looks really slow. Like your movement looks slow. The gun mechanics aren't the most smoothest things in the world, right? Like, this game is giving me I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of this game, 7 Days to Die. Yeah. It's giving me that kind of vibe where like the concept is good, but the gameplay is absolute garbage. And they're charging $60 for this game. and I don't think the game looks like it's worth $60. Honestly,
worth $60.
It doesn't look. And people were saying
like
the Left 4 Dead successor. Left 4 Dead 1 is superior to this game in terms of mechanics. Just from the eye test and looking at that gameplay, like people were getting stuck on nothing because of how slow the characters are moving, and the zombies don't look that great inside that game. I'm talking about the common ones. Yeah, it's an alpha. Like I want to get my hands on it so I can actually feel how the game plays, so I can give them feedback on it. But in all honesty, it doesn't look like a $60 game to me right now. It doesn't.
Yeah. But they don't aim. Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, I watched what the hell is it called? The Kinda Funny Guys. I watched them play, and I heard my brother like him talking about it and how like the movement to the zombies and everything are kind of like slow. Like it seems like because like when you go to Left 4 Dead, like the zombies, even the different types, like they seem more feverish. Like they're like after you, like they're clamoring. Like they're like really trying to.
They're faster than you, and it builds a sense of urgency when you're surrounded by them. And you're trying to engage with them. You have to know what you're doing.
See, it builds up that panic, and it really puts you on your toes. Like when you having to aim right and like take out the specific specialty zombies. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like
the specialty zombies looks cool in that game, but the actual gameplay itself doesn't look like it's $60. That game honestly should be $30.
Yeah, big facts. But I think they're banking off the nostalgia, of course. Like you go with that. You know that people want that for 4-player co-op versus like a horde of zombies, but the hordes just don't seem like they're very like threatening like that. Like it seems like you could kind of relax with it.
Intelligent as the original Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, the AI will get better over time, but the gameplay mechanics are what they are right now.
Oh man.
Well, I remember Left 4 Dead. I remember, depending on like how well you're doing or how well the team is doing or whatever, like the AIs will change up in Left 4 Dead. So I wonder if they're doing the same thing for Back 4 Blood.
Adapt to it.
Yeah.
They adapt to your gameplay. They know they sort of understand your patterns, so they know how to attack you. Inside Left 4 Dead.
Oh, I didn't even know. See, because when I played Left 4 Dead, like it was like 360 days, of course, but it was just like when I played Left 4 Dead, like I didn't have like a team, so I was playing with randos and so like I didn't really get that. So
yeah, I was just playing
randoms. All right. The other game was Hood Outlaws and Legends. It's coming to early access in May 7th, 2021. So that game's some ways off. So,
it looks okay. It reminds me kind of Nosgoth, if anybody ever played that, which was a game set in the Legacy of Kain universe from Square Enix. It was a PC exclusive, but it was like that. It was like 4v4, and you played like the hunters or you played the vampires. It kind of looked like Hood. So I'm kind of interested to see how Hood turns out.
Okay. And Forza Horizon 4 had received a Cyberpunk 2077 DLC. You get the Cyberpunk car, which obviously we're going to talk some more about, that game. There was also the game announcement.
What was the other game they announced at the Game Awards? It was
Returnal?
Crimson Desert.
Oh, yeah, Crimson Desert.
Yeah, no, that's further down the list. But
shit, if y'all played Black Desert, like y'all should have been like hip to
but
that.
Crimson Desert looks awesome though. Visually, it's just like looks freaking crazy.
It was running at like 3 frames per second, but it looked.
Yeah, the best looking 3 frames per second I've seen, bro.
Yeah, no, I played the beta of Black Desert whenever it finally came to the PS4, because you remember it was like a year exclusive on Xbox. It was Black Desert, but man, the performance issues is everything. Like the combat is cool and shit like that for an MMO, because usually MMOs don't really have that action based combat.
Yeah, I'm hip.
But the fucking performance, though, I was like, I can't play this game.
Yeah, even on PC.
Yeah, but this one is supposed to be a single player game.
Yeah, like it's more focused. It's gonna have like because I heard of the Crimson Joan. Me and my brother, like, we've been keeping up with it. So like the Joan is like it's gonna have a PvP incorporated into it, but this is more like story centric stuff. So it's like so I'm hoping that like what we saw, like visually, it looked amazing, and it looked interesting, and I'm totally on board. It's just like if they could make the performance better than what Black Desert is, like in like what we saw, like they need to get that frame rate better because that shit was choppy, like for real.
It was definitely
frame rate, the frame pacing, all of that shit.
Yeah.
But other than that, the game looks like really, really good. Like it looked really ambitious.
Yeah,
you know, when you was flying on the dragon and shit like that.
Yeah,
like, damn, it reminds me a little bit of a Dragon's Dogma a little bit too. So.
No.
One more thing.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma. Yeah.
All right, so remember how I told you guys that that freaking Back for Blood is $60, right? Yeah. Second extension. I'm not sure if you guys remember that game. It was that 3-player co-op with the dinosaurs and shit.
Isn't that coming to Game Pass?
It's coming there soon, but it's like an early access game right now. And from watching that versus Back for Blood, the gameplay is way better inside that game, and it's only $30 right now.
What are you doing? Second extinction?
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, it's available?
Yeah, it's early access right now.
Early access. Oh, they need to drop that in the early access on the Xbox then, because that's where I want to play it.
It's on Xbox, I believe. I know it's on Steam. I think it's on Xbox as well for the series consoles.
I might want to check that. It might be on PC right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll double check if it's on Xbox. I know for sure it's on Steam because I have it on my wish list right now and it's on sale. But I want to get it on Xbox to see how it performs on Xbox, and I want to get like a 3-man on that.
All right, and just to kind of rattle off the other stuff that was announced, because Warhammer 40K Darktide gameplay reveal looks awesome. That's exclusive to Xbox and PC.
It's just Vermintide, like for real. Like, I saw it. I was just like,
hold on. Did y'all notice there was like 10 freaking Horde zombie games that were announced at the Game Awards?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous, man. There was like nothing but Horde zombies.
They thought this was 2014.
Not even like 2011.
Then they also showed Arc 2 with Vin Diesel. That game is like 2022 bound. The trailer was interesting. I'll say that. Scarlet Nexus made a return at trailer.
Nice.
Yes, that one looks good.
I'm going to say, obviously, they showed Returnal, and it's coming out in March for PS5.
Yeah, they finally announced it for March. Yeah, the gameplay looks really, really good.
That's a pre-order. That's a pre-order right there for me.
And then, BioWare showed off Dragon Age 4 and a promise trailer for Mass Effect, so which really was more of nothing, honestly. It's just like, yeah, it exists.
Well, it showed something. Like it showed Liara to Sony and shit like that. Like it showed, like it's given us like an impression, or like it's just kind of like more so speculation that this could be like a continuation from 3. Like from the trilogy, so I mean, like it could be leading to that. So, I mean, that's interesting for the Dragon Age. Like, I mean, if you know what's happening, then like, I mean, yeah, you know what's happening. Like, so.
Yeah. So to me, like, I mean, they did this shit again. Like, they announced Dragon Age. What was it, last year or 2 years ago? I think they at the Game Awards.
They showed like a teaser.
It was just like developers talking that they're working on the game, and then they showed a teaser. This you know, again, and then the Mass Effect. Obviously, I really love the trilogy. You know, the first Mass Effect and stuff like that. So yeah, people are speculating, is this one right after 3 or is this one after Andromeda as well? But to me, since it's BioWare of today, I'm not excited at all. I'm not excited because you know, BioWare, they've been slacking off this generation. They pulled out, they dropped 2 duds in my opinion. Casey Hudson left. So to me, it's more of a wait and see. It's more of a wait and see. I'm definitely interested because I do like Mass Effect, so I'm definitely interested if BioWare, you know, reclaims the throne for this sci-fi RPG and stuff like that. Because we don't have a lot of sci-fi RPGs like Mass Effect. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Yeah, because it's Bioware of right now, I can't really get excited right now. So I hope they do good.
Yep.
I could agree, but it's just like since I'm such a big fan of like just Mass Effect, I beat 2 and whatever 3, but it's just like just the first Mass Effect and seeing that they showed Liara and like it's kind of like a focus, and I'm just like, all right, like this could be something for me. Like I understand that BioWare is just kind of tarnished and everything. Like I get it, and like I remember when they showed kind of like the snippets of like the environment for Dragon Age, like at the EA thing, it was like really short, really brief, really flash quick, but they showed kind of like a character model and they showed an environment and they looked really good. So it's just like Dragon Age, and I feel like Dragon Age has like a better track record thus far with like, it's like Inquisition wasn't bad and 2, but like Origins was great. So it's just like they got 2 out of, like, I would feel personally for me, Mass Effect 2 was lacking for me. 3 was a dud for me. I really didn't like the way how that continued and how it ended, obviously. And Mass Effect 1 was just great for me. So I'm hoping they get back to telling like a real true like space opera feel.
What you think about Andromeda? Because to me, Andromeda, like the gameplay was really good. You know what I mean? The gameplay
like the
was
combat.
The combat was a step up. But everything else, the characters, the story, everything else.
It had a bad launch too. That game was probably.
My face was tired.
I think that was the CyberPunk of its day, probably. Like in terms of issues, with the game, but the perception from the community, like it didn't get as much backlash as CyberPunk is right now. Like CyberPunk is getting well-deserved criticism because of how hyped it was and how long it's been in development. Andromeda was more like, oh, BioWare fanboys got pissed off and the game is broken as fuck.
Yeah, like it's like when Andromeda dropped, like it was definitely the Cyberpunk before Cyberpunk. Like I give it that. Like the joint had. Oh my bad.
Yeah, I just wanted to like carry on, get off the game awards.
What we going to next?
We could go to the reference keeps falling back to Cyberpunk. Was it earlier this week or was it last week? All right, so last week.
It's been the whole 2 weeks.
No, since this happened. No, it's been the whole 2 weeks since the game launched. But
but there's a lot of
last week. Cyberpunk was removed or delisted from PlayStation Network. This came after the aftermath of CD Projekt Red, I guess, promising refunds on the behalf of Sony and Microsoft for those who bought PlayStation copies and Xbox copies, and their half-hearted apology. So that prompted both Microsoft and Sony to do some things. So they both are offering refunds, but Sony went a step further, took the game off the market until the game is fixed. Xbox kind of is offering refunds regardless of how long you played, and the game has like a stamp like below it before you purchase it with like pretty much a bunch of warnings like you may experience this, that, and the third, but it's completely refundable. And then retailers are like Best Buy are allowing refunds, I think up until till December 21st?
The 26th.
Or the 26th, yeah. So
is it the 21st? I don't know.
Well, I know what. No. CD Projekt Red itself, they were offering refunds itself until the 21st through the website, right? So, so there was a lot going on with this game, and some people are rejoicing, some people are mad. People didn't take kind to the joke of me calling it effectively an Xbox and PC exclusive because of the change. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but it was just timing. I thought it was just like, but anyway, it happened. It's crazy. The game. It's been a weird situation with Cyberpunk and with the launch, and and a lot of people are talking.
You woke?
Who that?
It's Nick. He's talking to somebody else.
Oh, But yeah, so there's a lot going on with this game. So I'm just gonna ask you guys your thoughts. I stopped playing the game like I started on the 10th and I stopped on like the 11th. Not because I wanted to, it's just like, I got no time for another 50-hour experience. Let me finish Valhalla. And so now that I'm finished Valhalla, I can either go to CyberPunk or go to Immortals Phoenix, and then until whichever happens first, like go to Immortals or they fix CyberPunk. But even though I haven't had any issues on the Xbox Series X playing it, so like by the time I pick it up again, it's probably going to be a different game.
Yeah, a lot more shit like that. Yeah, I mean, this shit is all the way like insane, bro. Like how everything just went down, and it's like kind of like this big fall off from CD Projekt Red, which was like the industry darling. Everybody was hyping them up, based off The Witcher 3 and shit like that. So the game launched, obviously everybody knows, like super buggy on all platforms, but especially like really broken and unplayable on the base consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4, which is where majority of people, you know what I mean, except for like PC, but I'm talking about on consoles, majority of people are going to be playing on those consoles and shit like that. So the shit launched, they a lot of information came out. I don't want to go too deep into them, but pretty much it's just a lot leading up to like what CD Projekt Red was hiding the console version from the public and from reviewers prior to the embargo lifting up. They lied earlier this year to investors when they said that that CyberPunk was running well on the console versions and stuff like that.
Also talk about the review process for this as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we know that the review process or whatever, and then so since the game launched buggy and broken for a lot of people, right? If you're on next gen consoles, then you're fine, right? If you're on the Series X, if you're on the PS5, or even the Series S, then it should be running at least in a playable state. It's still buggy on those consoles, but it's in a more playable state and stuff like that. Even though there's no patch, you know what I mean? There's no patch for either next gen, but. So then CD Projekt Red is like, listen, yeah, we fucked up, blah blah blah. We should have either delayed or paid attention to the consoles. But if you want your refund, hey, go through a PSN or go through Microsoft and get your refund. And then Sony is like, hold on, like, y'all not gonna just like release this fucking game like this and then put the refunds on us. Granted, like, I've already expressed my issues with Sony's refund policy. I think the refund policy needs to be better. I think it's not good right now. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like when you buy a game and you download it and you decide you don't want it. You know what I mean? Like EA has a better refund policy than Sony, right? And EA is more, you know what I mean, is known for being like more anti-consumer and shit like that. So hopefully this gets Sony to like revise it. I think they are because of this. But pretty much what it was is like, yo, since you're gonna like completely like bypass our refund policies that we've had here and just put this shit on us, I'm pretty sure it's like a lot of people went to PSN or went to Sony to get the refunds, right? It had to be a huge volume of refund requests to the point where Sony said, you know what, fuck this shit. We're not gonna deal with this shit on our storefront. So for now, right, temporarily, we're gonna give everybody the refunds back who wants a refund if you don't want to stick with the game. But we're also gonna take it off our store until CD Projekt gets it, because if somebody brought it up, I think I forgot who it was, but if they're selling a broken game, right, and then at the same time offering a refund, like they're not supposed to be selling the game because they can completely people can completely abuse the refund policy. Yeah. For example, like I can buy Cyberpunk on say if it was available on the PSN and they were offering the refunds, right? No matter how many hours I played it, right? Because that's what they're making that exception. Microsoft is also making it, because at first Sony and Microsoft were denying the refunds, you know what I mean? But then they made the exception. Microsoft made the exception, like, yeah, we're gonna give our refunds even if you're past the 2 hours. And then Sony's like, we're gonna give our refunds, but we're gonna take it off. So so the whole, like, the thing with the this is what I was saying. So right, for like Xbox now, like if I could buy that shit off the Microsoft store, run through that bitch in 15, 20 hours because I heard it takes like that just for the story only, right? And then request a refund, get the achievements and request a refund. You know what I mean? So it's a whole fucking mess. I don't think anybody who's putting the fault on either company, I don't think. It has nothing to do with Microsoft. It has nothing to do with Sony. However they handle it, I don't think Sony is in the wrong of taking it out. I know other people feel differently about that, but saying, well, you know, Microsoft, they like the way Microsoft is doing it because they're still giving you the option at least or whatever, but you can still buy the physical. So to me, it's like it's all sorts of fucked up. And then there's more shit that the investors, they want to sue CD Projekt Red because they lied to their investors, and this is a whole bunch of mess, which is unfortunate because I'm sure the game itself is great. Like I've actually want to play the game, but I'm waiting, and because CD Projekt Red like straight up like this, like they straight up deceived, and they know that they were deceiving. They don't deserve like.
But the statements that they issue, the statements that they issue after everything that's been going on during the launch of the game is pretty fucked up. Like they said, "Dear gamers, first of all, we'd like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last gen console before it premiered. In consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase." They said we should have paid more attention to make it a playable experience on PS4 and Xbox One. Shouldn't you have thought of that before you dropped the fucking game?
Hold up.
Like what?
Hold up, bro. Wasn't there a quote from them that said they didn't know that the drinks perform like that?
No.
No.
They never said that.
This is what they said.
They said a quote. Go ahead, Chris.
I think this is what you're talking about. I think what you're talking about is saying when they're saying they should have paid more attention. Is that what you're talking about?
No, they said some shit. After it came out, they said they didn't know that it wouldn't run like that on those consoles. And like when I saw that, like I was just like, I called straight bullshit. I was like, bruh, how the fuck you start development on these Jones? But then you telling me by the end of development, you don't know what the fuck this game runs like?
No, they knew that. So,
no, that's what I'm saying, B. Like it didn't make any sense to me. Like I was. I know
Sony and Microsoft didn't know the game was gonna run like that on base consoles. They didn't know.
Yeah, they passed.
CD Projekt Red knew that.
So how do we know that? Because I've heard many people that like they claim that Sony and Microsoft did not know that the game looked like that. So you telling me that they just ran past you with this shit? Yeah,
they were waived. They were waived. No, so there were false promises. There were false promises from CD Projekt Red stating that the game is going to be playable on those systems day one. Yeah. But then with that statement that they put out talking about they should have paid more attention to making it more of a playable experience in PS4 and Xbox One. And then at the end of it, they said you can opt for a refund if you purchase it digitally, use PSN or Xbox respectively. Mm-hmm. I understand why Sony did that.
Without consulting them.
Yeah, the customer service is going to be like, yo, we're getting thousands and thousands of requests for refunds all day long because you're deflecting it to us now.
Yeah. See, I didn't even know that. Like, I thought these talks were already had when they talked about the refund situation. Mm-hmm. Then it came out that like they didn't say nothing to them. Like it's like I understand this is a foreign company. They kind of fresh to the game. Like they've never encountered something on this type of like level before in terms of refunds and backlash. I get it. Like the perception behind Witcher 3 was like it wasn't as bad as this. Like just kind of like I could say that my situation on the PS4, this was base PS4 at the time as well. It was like, I mean, it wasn't great for The Witcher 3. It's still my game of the generation, but it wasn't great. But like I can understand like the degree of like the bugs and the brokenness of this game, but then you coming out and then you saying that you didn't know that this game looked like this or performed this badly on those baseline consoles. I just called bullshit because it's like you started development with these in mind. These were the things that were in mind.
Yes, it was like, that they were coming out from because they showed off the game when 360 and PS3 was out, and we assumed that this game was going to come out on Xbox One and PS4, but it got delayed so long that it had to drop on next gen. Yeah. It had to.
No, but it's like the thing. All right. The issue here is that, like, okay, these were the games that you started out in development. what we saw, it was never gameplay for the most part for this game, especially on consoles. It was just teasers. That's what we got. Yep. So like the perception behind it was that okay, so we got this teaser. It's going to be coming out on PS4, Xbox One. That's what we ran with. So then I don't know what the management was, because it's definitely a management issue for like the development of like, okay, you're starting out Xbox One, PS4, and then you get next gen, like mid-gen refreshes. Okay, so now you're factoring those in. But how the hell do you get from the start of development to the next generation? How do you get the game to perform better on that, but not what you started out on? Like, I mean, so I feel like the scale just kind of like it got away from them. Like, it's just the
next generation consoles are brute forcing the game because they're not even patched. They're not even.
They're playing back compat versions.
Yeah, but the thing is like developers knew that the base console version was fucked up and it wasn't ready to release. I think Jason Schreier did put out an article where he's talking about that there was developers, like, you know, like the low level developer, not the suits,
not the, still confused, bro.
Not the management, right? The developers themselves, they were like, yo, this shit ain't ready. Like this shit is all the way fucked up right now.
And that's
so
facts. But the corporate,
right? So
but
were
the
they
corporate
just developing and focusing on PC?
They were focused. Well, they mainly focus on PC first and then port it over to the console.
Of course,
that's what they do. They build it on PC first because CDPR.
Well, that's how CD
is a PC.
Yeah, that's
company,
how they work.
And then they port it over to the consoles. But the developers knew it was fucked up, but it was the suits, the management, the corporate.
Yeah, the management forced the game out there.
That completely ignored them and said, nah, you got to get this shit out of here because we want this holiday money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's costing them. Now, look, they lost $1 billion in revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game still sold like crazy.
It's just the perception that you put out to the consumer. I don't care shit about their stockholders, stockbrokers, fuck them.
Right.
Like, is this the perception that you put out to the gamers and you lying and then like it's just like giving you 5 years, 8 years, whatever. Like, that's a long fucking time for you to not have something stable. At least like games come out with bugs. That's understandable. But to come out to what this game launched with on the base console that you started out building for, and I understand that CD Projekt was in the beginning like a centric PC team. Like, I get that completely. I understand. So it's like a lot of PC players feel that they've recentered themselves back onto PC because a lot of PC players felt that Witcher 3 felt like the PC players got like the back seat to the console players. I could understand that too. But it's just like, come the fuck on, B. Like, you got 5 to 8 years in development, give or take. You telling me you couldn't get a proper build out on the base consoles? I'm not expecting them to look like PC builds. I'm not expecting base consoles to look like fucking One X or like the Series X or PS5. I'm not expecting that. But I'm expecting them to run. Period.
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, because whenever the whole situation with like Sony delisted them or whatever, a lot of people started bringing up other games like, well, how come Sony didn't do this for Fallout 76 or Avengers or Anthem or anything like that?
I mean, those are legit questions.
No, but here's the difference. Here's the difference. Prior to Fallout 76 releasing, Bethesda already said that the game was going to have problems, and it was going to be buggy, but it's a game as a service, so as time progresses, it will get fixed, right? So that's when Fallout 76, it didn't really catch a lot of people off guard, and there wasn't a mass refund request. The Avengers had 2 betas prior to it releasing. I remember I played the closed beta because Jay Barter gave me a code for that, and when I played the closed beta, that's when I made that decision. Right, I played it on the PlayStation 4 and I made the decision, yep, this game is for me. I'm not going to buy this game. Same thing with Anthem. Anthem had 2 betas before it released, right?
Yep.
But the games as a service, it's an excuse, though.
Yeah, but hold on. But the thing with CDPR is that, remember, they didn't show like any. They showed like the 1X and the Series X, but obviously that was a vertical slice. They showed the when it's running actually well, whatever. But they didn't really show anything, and they kept that all from the public. They didn't have no impressions. no type of demo or anything like that. So when that shit came out, and then when we see the base console version, it was like a
surprise to everybody.
Yeah.
No, all right. This is my last point. Like, the games as a service isn't some type of fail safe for any game, because any game, and that single player or any game can be patched. Yeah. All of them have been patched. So it's like that games as a service shit is not an excuse. Now, us getting footage of the PS4 Pro, all right, PS4 Pro and Xbox One X compared to PS5 and Series X 2 weeks before launch, but you didn't show nothing of the base consoles. You gave us the best possible outcome for like mid to high tier for the consoles, and then PC. That's what you gave us. They've been selling us PC like for a grip. They haven't showed nothing of consoles until 2 weeks out. So I didn't expect the game to look like PC shit. So people were like, oh man, this game about to look fire. I was like, this shit is not about to look like that on this One X. But I did not expect it to look as bad as it did on the PS4 and One S and Xbox. I didn't. So,
I mean, we knew it wasn't gonna look like what they showed us. Obviously, and every time they showed us gameplay, it's running on the highest end of PC. Like PC
like it was a PC, bro.
Right? That you could possibly. So nobody was expecting the PS4 and the Xbox version to look anywhere close to that as far as like the graphical setting. But the way this shit came out, like this shit was like really
weren't they sending people the yellow people like fucking 3080s and 3090s to play the game on?
The yellow chair.
Now the thing is, obviously they received a lot of backlash. I mean, you guys know my thoughts of them delisting. I just want to ask you, I had a couple questions before we move forward. What are your thoughts on delisting? Was this the right move, and do you think other store outlets should have done the same?
Do I think? Well, in Sony's case, here's the thing with Sony's case. Like I said before, right? Their refund policy isn't set up to where once you start playing the game, then they can give you back a refund. It isn't set up like that. So it's like they completely had to like bypass the system or whatever. So, and they were pissed off that CDPR. You know what I mean? Like they gave them a chance with the waiver for the certification. And one thing real quick about the certification, because people are like, well, how to get past certification? The thing with certification, all it is they make sure that the game works with the functionality of the system itself, right? Mm-hmm. So it goes into rest mode properly, and it gets out of rest mode properly. The trophies and the notifications, pop up properly. That's all the certification is. You know what I mean? They're not actually checking the game.
So they don't look at what the fuck it actually looks like. You could do like a 10-minute, 5-minute, like turn this bitch on and boot me into the game.
It's to make sure it doesn't break the system itself, and then all the functionalities of the system.
Well, they failed next gen because Call of Duty and 2K been breaking systems, so.
But the whole thing with the delisting to me is like, this is Sony pretty much saying, nah, fuck y'all not gonna do us like that. And it's a fucking statement, because this is like the biggest game of the year, super, super hype and shit like that. So this is a big, you think about it, this is a statement from Sony to other developers and other third-party developers to be like, yo, don't fuck us over like this, because we will take your shit off. You know what I mean?
Reaction.
So I don't really think it's all that
it's just business, because you have to think about the logistics.
Like you gotta think about it.
Let me say this.
This situation is hurt, so they going to act like they going to handle it accordingly. Like they're going to be like, okay, so you did.
Swan say they handle it like women.
But look at it. It's you have to think about it from a logistical standpoint as well. CD Projekt Red, I'm pretty sure somebody at their management understands, and their PR people understand the fact that Sony doesn't do a refund policy like how Microsoft and other companies do it.
Yeah, she doesn't work the same.
They're fully aware of that. For you to put a statement out to say, if you want a refund, go to them. Everybody's everybody's flooding their channels. And then customer service, especially at this time, they're getting flooded with all this shit. They're probably telling consumers, hey, we can't refund your game, because customers are getting mad, cursing people out over the phone, saying you can't refund my game, stuff like that. You gotta understand how it is. So as Sony, you know what? You're just pulling the game from the store. Here's a link for you to do your refund. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And any other third party that tries to do that, you already know what's gonna happen. Because now we're gonna hurt your bottom line by saying, all right, you wanna fuck with our money? We're gonna fuck with your money and take your game off the store. Period. Because they could have more sales. They made 13 million sales.
Money? What do you mean that money?
They made their money already on the game.
They made their money before the game even released.
But we've never seen a AAA game of that status get pulled from an electronic store like that before.
No, we haven't.
Let me give my thoughts on that, because I thought that Sony went overboard with that, and here's why.
No, they didn't.
Go ahead. Let me just say.
Go ahead, Nick.
I think so. Because Hello Games literally lied about their game, and they didn't have that same energy.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
I literally explained that.
And this is, you explained it, but the reason why they didn't is because they had a marketing deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Sony blew that up. Like,
my thing is,
but it wasn't a mass refund request.
What you mean a mass refund? What you mean a mass refund?
That's what we're trying to tell you. Sony wouldn't have pulled the game, even if it was buggy as all fuck. They wouldn't have pulled the game if it wasn't for CDPR saying, "Listen, go get your money from PSN, get a refund," right? Which they don't have that system in place, right? And because of that, because like you said, the game sold 13 million in one day. So there was a lot of people who bought the game. So you can imagine that there was a lot of people who just
customer service
completely flooded customer service with refunds, way more than No Man's Sky ever did.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No Man's Sky
I don't
wasn't
think
even
it was.
a game that
Hold on, I don't think it was that massive.
That was a problem with No Man's Sky and shit like that. That was a problem. But what I'm saying is, even with No Man's Sky, with their lying and false promises, and the game came out and it wasn't what they said it was going to be, Sean Murray then be like, well, we're sorry, go get all your refunds back from PSN. And then there was a mass.
He didn't do that.
That didn't happen. That's why it's different.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but my thing is, it was just as big because a lot of people got their refunds.
Not as big as CyberPunk.
It wasn't as big. It wasn't as big, and it wasn't as anticipated. CD Projekt Red literally issued a statement saying, "Go to Sony and get a refund."
Because it's a AAA game. No Man's Sky wasn't. That's why. What I'm saying is the lie was just as big. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, the lie was just as big, but you have to think about the residual impact on the entire community as a whole. Like this game had way more writing on it than anything else.
But and they pulled it from some shelves too. They pulled it from some shelves in the store.
Yeah, Best Buy.
They put a sign up and say, hey, if you're looking for this game, make sure you go to customer service, because they now have to tell you. This shit was on BBC. It was on CNN. Yeah. Like all the news. This shit was way more massive than. I understand. I agree with you that the No Man's Sky was fucked up and shit like that. But it wasn't to the point. It wasn't to the level of this, and it wasn't refunded to the amount of this where they literally have to. Sony had to literally bypass the refund policy. Give people
No Man's Sky
it's just the layers. It's just the layers that like fucking CD Projekt Red has added on top of it. If they handle it differently, it wouldn't be this bad. If you understand, like with the lying and them saying this and that, like it wouldn't be as bad if they just came out and were honest about the base consoles. Like they fucking lied and they just stacked upon them. And then you not giving a heads up to the people that you're selling your game through. Like those people feel betrayed. Sony and Microsoft, like it's just that Microsoft is just like, look, you can get your refund. We gonna warn you about this fucked up shit, but I mean, it's up to you. Sony just took it off your hands, and it's like, I mean, you could try to find it somewhere else, but we not about to be selling
because
shit.
some people don't mind them playing through, but it sucks, and I wouldn't do it. But I don't mind.
But here's the thing: is if Sony would leave that up, and then at the same time still offer the refunds, a special arrangement for that game, like they literally had to break their own refund, which. The good thing about this is I'm hoping that they can finally fucking update the refund policy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, for sure. Make it better.
So this is kind of like a good thing from the situation if they change it, right? Because I remember when Jim Ryan first was first in charge. All he did was change the policy to where now it's like you can now refund your pre-orders, right? If you don't download the game and shit like that. Then people were like, oh look, they changed the refund, but they never changed it. You know what I mean? They never changed the refund policy.
Do you have Smooth? Do you have 2 microphones on right now? Because when I tuned into the stream on my phone, there's background noise. Check your OBS or something, because it sounds like there's like when everybody's quiet, there's background noise playing in the back, even though nobody's microphone's moving.
It's probably just, let me make sure that like, what does it sound like? Like, what are you hearing? Is it like an echo? Like the
background noise.
No, it's not like an echo. It's like background noise. Like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. Like
it's just probably my mic is probably like just like super loud. I don't understand this mic. I don't get it. Like I would have to, I guess, mute every time I'm not speaking. But like, go ahead and talk.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Smooth.
Yeah.
Where the Series S at this point?
The Series S is like waiting for you to. Never mind. No, it's still ETA for the 30th.
Oh.
Yeah, the money, like audience. I just ordered another one. They both left my account. Like so.
All right, I got you. I just wanted to check because I got this. Somebody got me a expansion. I ain't had to buy it, man.
Oh, somebody gave you an expansion? How they give you an expansion before they give you a console though? Like that's
no, because remember I told you it was a chick gonna buy me.
she got you expansion, but she couldn't get you the damn console. Yo, by the way, just
what? And I told her to get me a what's the name?
All right, then you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, you ready, bro.
So we gonna have like a healthy Series S base in here. I'm playing Super 7 right now, and this thing is like kind of tight. Like it's lit, but some of these maps are difficult on Forza Horizon 4, and this game looks awesome. All right, so let me take it serious. I apologize for the the noise and everything, but let's run through this. So Cyberpunk, pretty much all in all, Sony's mad. And Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red, they got a whole lot of stuff going. They're talking about lawsuits, stocks is dropping. Do you think they go?
Not only Sony, a lot of people, retailers are mad. The investors they want to sue the fucking Cyberpunk.
So with does CD Projekt Red go up for? Do they go up for sale?
Hell yeah. Get bought,
I don't know because their last net worth was like they're worth like 8 billion.
That's not a lot.
Some shit.
They just lost for an independent studio like that. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Really
good.
Yeah, no, that is a lot.
For a publisher, for a huge publisher, maybe, but for an independent studio, they surpassed Ubisoft in Europe. They surpass a whole publisher. You know what I mean? Ubisoft, one of the biggest publishers that there is.
I'll take Ubisoft, bro.
I wouldn't take Ubisoft.
You mean?
I know you love Ubisoft.
You crazy, bro.
Ubisoft stand,
great again.
I don't know, but honestly, I think I'm sure that they're gonna fix a lot of the problems. They're gonna have the base consoles at least somewhat stability. It's going to come back on PSN. Like this is only a temporary delisting and some shit like that. They're gonna come back. Even though they're pissed. They're probably they're pissed.
You know what this mean though, right? You know what this mean, right? Though, like, do you think CD Projekt Red like kind of Sony delists their game, right? Future games from them, right? Not saying they won't appear on PlayStation. I'm just saying I just think they're likely to stick closer to Team Green in terms of marketing and like or
they've always had the marketing with Microsoft.
Yeah, they've always. But I'm just saying
but at the same time, they need to understand it's like, yo, this is business, and the reason your shit got pulled off is because of their own doing. They you know what I mean?
But
so it's like,
but they could kick it the same way though. It could be like, all right, well, this is business. We saw that, like, all right, we fucked up. We didn't know any better. So I mean, and we kind of burnt a little bridge. We didn't expect the kickback to be like that. So I mean, we gonna stick to somebody who kind of stuck by our side a little bit. Like, it's understandable. Like, it's business.
Why are you gonna say it like that though? All right.
Like, it's just
Microsoft has the marketing with Cyberpunk. You know what I mean? So that I know for sure they don't want to take this shit off. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Microsoft wasn't gonna. They weren't gonna
do
do that. They usually side with Sony on certain shit, like and back them up. They weren't doing that. Nah. They were not doing that. It was like, yeah, you on your own, chief. They said Xbox ain't got no games. We ain't gonna remove a game. Fuck. I'm just saying, bro.
They broke their refund policy though. What I mean is they
everybody broke their refund policy, but the thing is
exactly, and that's that's what I don't never get is because the entire hold on. That's what I don't understand. The entire fucking industry, right, is pissed off. Retailers and shit like that is pissed off or whatever. Sony makes that decision because they're like, nah, fuck that shit. Y'all, you know what I mean? Like y'all completely lied, y'all completely deceived, and the shit's broken on the base fucking consoles, and you're telling everybody to go get their refund policies and giving us a hassle and shit like that. So until the shit is fixed, right, we're gonna temporarily remove this shit from your store. Best Buy was taking it off the shelves, right, and moving it somewhere else. Like you can still get the PS4, like the physical disc version or anything like that. So it's like I hate it when people. It's for example, like it's like earlier this year.
Whoa, what they call a foul on that?
When PlayStation was the first one to pull out of events due to COVID, and everybody was like, not everybody, but a lot of people was like, "Oh, COVID is not in America. Oh, what is this? Is this China? Why is Sony pulling out? There's no reason to pull out. This shit is not affecting us over here." And then boom, all of a sudden, one by one, every single company started pulling out. Every single company started pulling out.
But they pulled out of events like shit before COVID, though. They were pulling out of events before COVID.
But they were set for events this year. But the reason they started pulling out was because of COVID this time around. The other time was from another reason. This time around was for COVID. But I remember like people were getting on Sony because of that, and then everybody else followed suit. So it's the same thing here. I was like, yeah, Sony, oh, damn, like, oh, that's messed up. They didn't have to go that overboard and shit like that. But it's like, nah, but this is CD Projekt Red. That's the thing. Nobody should direct this at all. Even if Sony delisted that shit, they shouldn't direct anything like at Sony because it wouldn't have happened if CD Projekt Red didn't fuck up this bad and didn't lie and didn't release. They could have deleted
lied and all that.
Or they could have just released it for PC exclusively first, and then next year the console version comes out. Or some shit. Or cancel it. Or cancel the base version and just go next gen only. So all of this shit happens because of CD Projekt Red. So Sony's reaction to this is not wrong. Microsoft's reaction to this is not wrong. Best Buy reaction, the investors at CD Projekt Red themselves reaction to it is not wrong. It all falls on CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, all of them can do whatever the fuck they want. Like, I don't care. But it's just like, you know that there are actual people atop of all of these companies. And so, like, they're doing business moves, but at the same time, like, they still people. So shit is just like they gonna move how they move. So
that's speaking of the whole base console thing, that's a good transition into the Halo top because somebody from 343 recently confirmed that Halo Infinite is still coming to Xbox One.
Yeah.
And they're not canceling the current or last gen version of the game.
Like, it was built on the fucking console. Like, it was literally built on a joint. Like, I mean, yeah, like, you gonna get, like, Series X enhancements or some shit, but it was literally built on the one. Like, what you gonna just, like, cancel all the shit that you built on the joint?
There still isn't that, and there still isn't there isn't an enhancement for the Series X or the PS5, and they said that one may or may not come next year. So the PS5 and Xbox Series X patches, right, for the enhancements, it might not even release in 2021. That's what CD Projekt Red said.
Talking about Halo, bro. Like, he just said the Halo. Like,
oh shit, my bad. I had a phone call. I thought we were talking about
Infinite. Yeah, we talking about Infinite. Yeah.
With the whole.
They're not dropping the Xbox One version of the game.
Yeah, at first it was rumored that it was gonna drop it, then now they're saying I mean, hopefully they see what's going on with CyberPunk and they really.
Oh yeah, they're definitely watching that situation.
They make sure that motherfucker's running on the OG Xbox One. That's all they gotta do. They gotta just make sure that it works.
Like, they literally was building it for the one. It's like, it's a management issue for CD Projekt that you motherfuckers thought that, oh man, like, we ain't got to do much work for this version. Shit, but yo, that shit is blowing me. Like, it's blowing my mind. But go ahead, bro.
what was the thing about the Halo Infinite? Like, I know the dudes LinkedIn said that the game's gonna be it's on Series X and Series S and PC only, but then they had to come out and correct and say no, it's still coming to Xbox One, right?
Yeah,
he didn't have Xbox One in his heading.
Yeah, well, maybe he's working on a next gen version port. Who's to say? You know, he's probably responsible for the next gen and PC versions. I mean, that could be a thing. Who knows?
It just has to. If it's cross generation, they just have to make sure it runs and works good on the base Xbox. That's it. That's all they gotta do.
It shouldn't be a problem, bro. I think like it really shouldn't even be an issue. Now, like fucking Flight Simulator, like with that not coming to the Xbox One, I understand just because of the limitations of the parts in the console. Like that's different
a RAM
from
issue
like
right there.
Yeah, like that shit was like literally built for PC.
RAM issue, everything. Like that game.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a super demanding game.
It would kill the One X. I don't even think it would work.
I seen somebody play Flight Simulator on the minimum specs, and that shit was like 2 frames a second. It was crazy.
Oh my god!
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that game.
It was bad.
Because it's very GPU intensive, right? Like it's
CPU intensive.
Yeah, CPU intensive. Yeah,
you're rendering. You're drawing the polygons of so many buildings out. It's the draw distance is insane in that game.
Yeah,
and then it's VRAM. It's VRAM limited as well. If you don't have enough VRAM on your card, that could be a huge limitation right there, because you're trying to stream in all those assets from your storage into VRAM, and if it's really slow and you don't have a lot of it, it's just gonna. Yeah, that game is that's the new crisis right there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I said it's just like I understand them not bringing Flight Simulator to the One consoles, because it's just like them Jones can't hack it, bro. The most of the time in most of these games on the One consoles, they're all stuck at 30. Like it's very weird that we get 60. Like it's like in special cases. Like we got a couple 60 frame games, but it's just like. And even in those, like the frames aren't stable for that, so it's like to try to have Flight Simulator in there is a no. It's a no go.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Questions.
Yes.
Are you muted? Are you muted on the stream?
What the fuck?
Okay.
All right, my bad, guys. No, I don't like. That's why I have the issues with freaking muting my mic, because you guys can hear me, but then All right, so the first thing I said was, well, Halo Infinite is obviously still coming fall 2021. We will likely get a beta this time around, but then I feel like the next time we'll see the game is going to be sometime in May. The other update was, Skyrim has landed into Xbox Game Pass, and the 60 frames per second mod is available for Series S and Series X. It works well. Digital Foundry tested it. There's also a 60 frames per second mod for Fallout 4. This is not the one that Xbox advertised with their internal 60 frames per second solution on games that are locked for games that are locked at 30 frames per second. There's a mod, somebody created it, and it was intended for the Xbox One to run the game at like 720-60, and the game on a Series X at least runs it at 4K 60 even with that mod. So I would check it out. I would jump into these mods, but this was the question I was asking you guys. For those who are familiar with mods, does mods disable achievements? That's the what would make me not want to play. Like, I want to play at 60 frames, but I want to earn achievements. Like, I don't.
But you could turn the mods off. Like, you could play with mods. Like, you could like try them out, and then like when you load up your game, like you can just kind of like turn them all off at once. Like, you ain't even gotta like fuck with them like that. Like, as I played with mods like a lot with the 1X when it came out with Fallout 4 and Skyrim. So I was just like, all right, like it's cool, but like you said, it disables your achievements and shit. Like, you playing through the story, like it's just for fucking around stuff, bro. Like,
that reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 4 on the 360. If you use the cheats, right, you wouldn't get the achievements.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So it's like I can't I had no fun with that. But you unlock all the achievements in a matter of an hour. If for the most part, you get like, you know what I mean, if you just track them. But yeah, like that's why I don't like, you know, jump in with like the mods and stuff like that. So like I'll probably check it out, but I really want to see what Microsoft does with their internal solution for doubling frame rates on games that are capped already. They showed the little, you know, image of Fallout, you know, before the consoles launch, showing that's what they're able to do and whatnot. So hopefully that's sooner rather than later. I am working on a project. I'll put it. Hopefully it'll be done next week. Me and Cokeboy was talking about it. It's another thing, I would like to have it before 2021, but it's not really like a time sensitive video. It is related to the Xbox Series consoles. And speaking of Series consoles, like I said, right now, like this, in about a month, the entire PX crew, with the exception of Chris, would have a Series console, whether it be an X or an S. So shout out to the team,
Chris getting the S soon.
He may get
it. I'll get an X. I don't want an S. I'll get an X.
So now Jay just got his X in, and you've been playing a couple games. So I just want to, you know, I think the last time we were on a podcast, your PS5 had just came in, and you told us your experience there. So I want to know your experience on the Xbox Series X so far, games you've been playing, any things that, you know, you noticed that you didn't expect, or things that you're surprised about. But yeah, like just give us your impressions.
Oh, so first thing, I unboxed the Xbox Series X. I was really hyped. My brother and my sister were with me. Very exciting experience because I got a bundle, so I got an extra Series controller. So I got a white one and a black one that came with the console. I got 3 months of Game Pass, which I gave away to somebody, so a homie that I know. And it gave me 2 games, Forza and PUBG, which is weird because both those games are in Game Pass, so it was a bit redundant. So anybody wants a free copy of PUBG on Xbox or Forza Horizon, let me know. But set it up. That console, this is I didn't expect it. That console has some heft to it. Like, it's heavier than the PS5. I was like, damn, this shit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that shit. Yo, the PS5 is light. Like, you can take that shit and toss it. No. But the Xbox, yeah, it's just a bigger system because the airflow that they have inside there. But the Xbox is a little heavier. I set up my Xbox. You want to know what the first game I downloaded on that system?
What's that?
Sonic Unleashed, the most fire Sonic game ever.
No.
That game is fire.
Man,
that game is heat.
Jump up and down, man.
That game was heat. So I was like, you know, it's a quick download. Let me try it out. Downloaded that. Downloaded Halo. Cold Vein, even though I haven't touched it yet. I downloaded Nier Replicant, Hellblade. I played Sonic Unleashed, Nier, and I played Hellblade. Those are the 3 games I played on there. And I think Halo 3. Baby. Yeah, I played Halo 3 as well.
We gotta link up, man.
Yeah, man. Hellblade is heat. I ran that shit in performance mode. Looked amazing. Looked crisp, right? Yeah, there's a performance. It runs it in 1X performance mode, but it's better now because of the extra horsepower that the Series X has. So like, you're essentially at the lock 60, and then the graphical settings are turned up to a 9 because of that. So Hellblade looked amazing. Nier Automata looked amazing. And let me say one more thing. these people that cap about Game Pass saying that, oh, Game Pass isn't great, blah 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 blah. Listen, if you're just getting an Xbox console, like you've never had Xbox before, or you've been off of Xbox for a hot minute and you're coming back to it, whether it's a Series console or the X, right, the Series S or the X, Game Pass is literally the best thing you can have ever. I don't care what nobody tells you, it's the best deal in gaming. You have games like Haven, which is a turn-based RPG. That game is amazing.
I want to play that game.
Cold Vein, Call of the Sea that Smooth recently reviewed. Check out his review on that. I need to play that game. You got Skyrim Special Edition. You got the Gears of War 5 collection in there, or the Gears collection. Plus you have 5 in that DLC. Control. I mean, there's so many games.
EA Play.
Yeah, you have EA Play with it. Like there's so many games in there.
Thanks for reminding me.
Indies.
No, thanks for reminding me, because you brought up Bethesda games. I gotta try to hurry up and beat Bethesda games that are on PS now before they take them shits off.
Yeah, they're gonna take it off for that, man. I'm telling you.
Them take this shit off, because I already beat Wolfenstein 2 on this shit.
Yeah.
They have Dishonored 2. I think they got Wasteland 2, which is from the Wasteland devs on that motherfucker. They got both of the Evil Withins. So I'm gonna try to hurry up and try to, like, after I beat Persona 5, I'm gonna try to beat all this shit just to get the trophies for them, because I know they're gonna take them off PS9 very soon.
All right, here's another thing. That controller, I'm not gonna lie, I like the controller. Yeah. It feels much more ergonomic in my hand versus the one controller. The one controller I love, but this one fits a bit better because they shrunk it a little bit more. So and the grip, oh my god, the grip on the triggers, the grip on the back of the controller is amazing. I bought rechargeable batteries for it as well, so that thing is gonna last a long time in terms of just battery life in general. But the console runs all my games fine. It's smooth. I can understand why people say it feels like a faster version of their existing Xbox One console, but there's other features in there like quick resume. I was playing Nier, I was like, alright, let me take a break from this because I just died and I didn't save my game, and hop on Hellblade. And I came back to Nier, and it's right there, the shit loaded. I'm like,
wait to use that shit. I can't wait to use that.
PC been had this feature. So what you guys say about people that say that?
What feature?
PC doesn't have quick resume. It does not have that. It does not have quick resume whatsoever. That's a lie. Don't let anybody cap in the chat. These PC
they gonna come for you, man.
You heard him, Merc? You still listening?
There's no quick resume on PC.
I've been seeing dudes kill that myth on fucking like GameSpot and all of them. Like it was like, shit, I got a good PC, man. That shit don't even do that. So
yeah, like I have my system has nothing but SSDs in it, and it doesn't have quick resume. Like I have to close the game and go to the next one. And there's so many different launches on PC that they can't even implement a feature like that. Like Windows will have to, Microsoft with Windows have to mandate that, which they're not gonna do. So yeah, quick resume, that's not happening. But Xbox Series X, I definitely recommend it for sure. The value in it is definitely Game Pass. There's so many titles on there. I didn't buy a single game on my Xbox. I bought the fucking system and just downloaded it, games from my existing library and Game Pass. That was it.
And my man's still gaming, baby. So
still gaming. So the Xbox Series X review is gonna come after I drop my PS5 one, because I'm still working on that, getting a lot of gameplay recorded and trying to work on my little script for that. Probably gonna make it like a little 10 to 15 minute video, and that's it.
Okay, that's what's up. So yeah, man, I can't wait till you guys all like experience it. I've been playing, like Chris said, I actually I beat Wolfenstein on the Series X because it's I don't know how to say this without, because people always get on Xbox for playing old games, but it's one of those games that was enhanced for the Xbox One X that it's fully realized on a Series X, because what happened was it was two games, like the early games that came out, I think it was 2017, right? That they went straight to 4K and doing like the highest textures possible, right? But the games in the Wolfenstein obviously is targeting 60 frames per second. So it couldn't maintain that. It just averaged in the 50s, right? So what they did was I think after the first update, they added like a dynamic resolution scaling to it. and they allow you to turn on dynamic res so you can maintain a higher frame rate while the resolution like fluctuated, and that still wasn't enough to completely lock it. So then they added a third option, which is an aggressive dynamic res, which brought the resolution down quite a bit more to lock it at like 60 frames. Now luckily these weren't patches that replaced the native mode, they were just options for you to choose from. And now on the Series X, I can just play on the I played on the default mode, which was native 4K, and it was already targeting 60, and I got exactly that. And that game I was using like a high texture pack then, and it just came, and it's using auto HDR, so it just like looked and played much better. Same thing, another game, and this is all gonna be a part of my video along with this list I'm gonna do. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Visibly an impressive looking game, looks magnificent. But when it came out on the Xbox One X, I remember this was one of the games that, like, on performance wise on the Pro, they had the frame rate was the average higher, had the higher frame rate on the PS4 Pro, but the Xbox had better resolution and higher textures, like by hands down higher textures, but they couldn't maintain it at 60 frames per second. Now this was it was a dynamic scaler. I think PlayStation capped out at somewhere, and the Xbox caps out at 4K. Now when you play it on the Series X, you're now finally getting it maintained in 4K and it being capped at 60 frames, and it's just like a beautiful fucking game. So like those games, like I do appreciate some games that came out that now that can be fully realized. And of course, there's the Series X optimized games. I've played Hivebusters, which is a great game. Well, not a great game, but like a great short expansion in the Gears universe. Now, just to let you guys know about Hivebusters, there was a mode in Gears.
I keep hearing a lot of good things about it. People saying it's real good.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so I was never a big fan of the characters, right? But they were used to introduce the escape mode at launch, right? When Gears 5 came out, and I played Escape, and I was trying to get people on it, trying to get people to jump on a new fad and whatnot, but I couldn't get anybody to join it. So I played like maybe 4 games, and I started playing with randoms. But then I stopped playing because I couldn't have like 2 people to play with me that mode particularly. So
I mean, it looks good. I saw screenshots.
The mode was a good mode, but I think what happened was, so they realized nobody really was like jumping into the mode, so I think they had this like already up their sleeve. But when you play the Hivebusters, it's literally a backstory to those characters and how that mode is now introduced, even to the point from where it starts all the way to the ending of the game. Spoiler alert: the ending of the expansion is the start of an escape mode. Like, I don't know if any you'll peep when you finish it, you'll peep it. I don't know if you ever played escape mode, but it made me want to play escape mode immediately after. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. Okay, that you literally get kind of the lead up to it. But they did some great texture work, bro. Gears, this is like Gears 5 did a lot trying to get you away from like the traditional like landscape and environments that we're used to of seeing in Gears. This one throws it completely out there. It's like you're in a jungle. And I don't like this comparison, but it does take you into like a little bit of like Uncharted like environments that you would expect from Uncharted, right? And it just looks good. They did a good job with the game, the character models, and it looks good across all platforms. But I got to play the game again because they robbed me of an achievement, and I think it was because I let Addict jump into my game like at the end of chapter 4. So I think I think it started again, so it didn't count me as beating the game. Well, I got all the achievements, but the achievement for finishing all chapters, and because I did 4 of the chapters by myself, and then he came in for the last 2 chapters. So I probably have to start off from chapter 4 in solo mode and finish up again. But it's a quick game. You can get through it in less than 3 hours, though.
Let me say, I heard it. All right. So after playing my PS5 and Xbox Series X on my 55-inch 4K TV, the one thing I hate about my TV, it doesn't allow me to play games at 4K HDR. It does like 1080p HDR, but not 4K HDR.
How's that possible? What kind of TV are you playing?
Stupid. Yeah. You guys are gonna roast me. It's a 55-inch Vizio M series.
Wow.
Now look. Because I've been looking. I'm like, all right. I'm gonna upgrade either to the LG Nano 90, Sony X900H, or the C10, because all those support HDMI 2.1.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
HDR has nothing to do with the HDMI. That's just kind of
it's the TV doesn't. I don't know. I don't think it has enough bandwidth from the HDMI lanes to support 4K HDR.
I mean, my monitor does HDR at 4K.
It's stupid. Like it's the dumbest shit. Unless I have to check. Unless I check. Yeah. So Benji said that I have to check. I have to check the. Yeah, he said I might have to check the right HDMI port.
PC.
What do you mean?
Heard what I said, motherfucker.
you drunk?
No, you just Nick is just mad. I've been carrying him Call of Duty, man.
Yo, but yeah, dude, you gotta this is what you're gonna have to, yeah, how many HDMI ports you have?
I got 4. I think I have to check which one I have.
You know, you probably have to go into your settings and enable HDR through all HDMIs, or
you gotta set it. Like sometimes you gotta go in and set that shit to 2 point what's the name? Because I had to do the same thing.
Yeah. Did you look it up though?
I do have a soundbar using HDMI ARC right now, so that could probably be it as well.
No, you don't go through ARC. You don't plug it in the ARC. You plug it in the second or I think it's the second one.
Yeah,
it's usually isn't it usually the first 2 or the 2 and 3?
Yeah, first 2.
Yeah. I'll see which ones I have it plugged into, because I need to check my ports again, because I have so much shit plugged into the TV.
Yeah. My next upgrade is gonna be an OLED, because I heard OLED is like a big upgrade.
Yeah, OLED changes the game. Like here's the thing I can appreciate about the OLED is the reason why I'm not gaming on a monitor. Because it does, if you're playing on a PS5 or a Series X, the OLEDs, at least obviously by LG, they're doing everything these consoles can take advantage of. So that the whole, and people, you know, every time we mention VRR, people laugh at us and shit like that every time when it comes to talk about like frame rate. But, you know, I know people like to downplay it, but it is a difference maker. You don't fucking feel it unless it's a situation like CyberPunk where the shit fucking freezes to death and it is your screen's just gonna stop. But in terms of like constant motion in the game, if a game has a few hiccups here and there, you're not gonna feel the shit. You're not gonna feel it. You're not gonna see it. And VR is clutch for that. And I noticed that when I was playing, when I kept going back and forth between my monitor, because my monitor doesn't have VR, but I could see the straight line tear at the top of the screen. Every time a tear happened on my monitor, I was like, oh shit. And then I would go back to my TV and it's fixed. So, but yeah, like, I mean, if you can get a display that have VRR, you know what I mean? And I know, well, at least for Xbox, so the PS5 doesn't take advantage of it yet. Get it, or a monitor or whatever. But right now in OLED, in terms of like HDR quality and, you know, visual quality and then obviously allowing 120 hertz is just the best option. So
yeah.
So what else?
I think that covers everything.
Yeah, no, we got we're gonna leave off with, I need to know what's everybody's game of the year, bro. For 2020, not what was politically correct, what the Game Awards picked. I want to know your personal game of the years for 2020.
Ori. I want everybody to be hurt by this. Ori and the Will o' the Wisp.
Ori's your game of the year, Nick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard Ori's real good.
I mean,
I don't know why anybody would be hurt.
I would never. The thing is, I'm not I don't play Ori like that.
After playing Hollow Knight, I really want to play Ori. So
you're gonna love it. It was good. I didn't play a lot of like Last of Us and all that type of stuff. I'm pretty sure that might have been my game of the year, but I didn't play it. So
yeah, we picking from the awards.
No.
Your game of the year.
Yeah.
The game you played this year, but it has to be released this year.
Yeah, then it'd probably be Gears Tactics for me. Like, I love that game. I think it's fire.
Oh man,
Gears Tactics was good.
And make sure I'm
play Gears Tactics, boy. You better quit fucking. You better play Gears Tactics. Bro.
I'm gonna check the achievements, man.
Yeah, no, I like if I had an Xbox, I'd definitely play Gears Tactics because I like XCOM.
Gears Tactics is fire.
Yeah, I like XCOM.
All right, who's next?
Oh, me. My game of the year was Last of Us 2. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I thought he was gonna say Ghost. Nah, I love Ghost, but Last of Us 2 edges out Ghost from my personal experience on playing both games so far. Like the experience and the story of Last of Us 2 and how unique it is. Like some people can hate on the story. I don't care. Like that's their opinion. I enjoyed the game, and then it's my game of the year.
Okay. Chris?
To me, I actually have 2 game of the years, and it is Final Fantasy VII Remake and Ghost of Tsushima. I really, really enjoyed both of those games, especially Final Fantasy VII Remake with what they did with the gameplay, made it action, but at the same time still tactical with turn-based elements in it, and then how they played on the word remake. Everybody thought you were just getting a one-to-one remake, but now the remake actually has to do with the story and the timeline and shit like that. And then Ghost of Tsushima, which was like a surprise hit from Sucker Punch. You know what I mean? Because I liked the Infamous games before. I thought they were just cool. I didn't think they were like amazing. I thought they was, they was just cool. Even Second Son, right? I thought Second Son it's still a beautiful game, but everything about Ghost of Tsushima, the open world, the exploration, the combat, the story, the music, the scenery, just everything about that game. Like I absolutely love the shit out of it. Yeah, so those are my 2 game of the years for this year.
I'm gonna give you 2. And here's the thing, right? So my game of the year, because I got to do my top games of 2020, but this might spoil it, right? A little bit. Surprisingly, right, we were going for a 3-peat. And when I say we were going for a 3-peat, it would have been Assassin's Creed for like like they would like 2017, 2018. Well, no, 2019 it was there was no Assassin's Creed that would be in my GOTY. I think what was my game of the year in 2019? I think it was freaking shit. I would have to go to the list, but
Sekiro.
No, I don't think I picked Sekiro. It was good, definitely.
It was up there.
It's definitely up there, yeah. Valhalla. I wanted to pick Valhalla because there's like I put 95 hours in it. I just didn't like the way that the game wrapped up. But I would have to say I technically have 2 because I wanted to do like this is playing Xbox, so I'll give you my game of the year overall. The game of the year is Last of Us 2, and then my other game of the year, if I would just give it from the Xbox perspective, if I would for the Xbox listeners, obviously it's playing Xbox. My game of the year for Xbox, dude, it's honestly a fucking toss up between Watch Dogs Legion and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I enjoyed
that game yet.
I ain't finished what game yet.
Was the mall?
Valhalla.
I did finish the game.
Oh, you
I finished that game at like.
Let me ask you a question though, Smooth.
Who was in the party with me? It was like 2:00 in the morning.
No, let me ask you a question though. You kind of like forced yourself to finish that motherfucker.
It's not that I forced myself to finish it because I didn't want to say the problem. It was taking too long. So it's one thing to force yourself to finish it and you don't want to play it. I wanted to play it, but it was like what I had to do was force myself to stop doing side content. That's what the issue was. I kept finding myself in like, all right, stop going to this chest, like, because I was adding more time than I needed to the game. So what I did was I was like, you know what? Let me stop doing stuff that don't really matter to me right now, because I can always go back and get some of this shit, and let me just follow the story arc. So that was the problem. So because I ended up doing every raid, like I had no more raids left to do by the time I had to finish the game, and so I went to. So I just wanted, I kept struggling to follow the story arc because I kept finding myself off track. So it wasn't that I struggled to finish the game or like to force myself to finish the game. Finishing the game wasn't the problem. It was forcing myself not to do side content because the game is full of it. Because like it was this was the game that took me the longest to beat the game in terms of hours, because I beat in like Origins at like maybe 40 hours into the game. I beat an Odyssey maybe 50 hours into the game. I beat Valhalla 90 hours into the game. This was supposedly smaller than Odyssey, which I don't believe. So reason why I say it's a toss-up between Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion. I like Watch Dogs Legion more than I expected. It was a surprise release for me in terms of like how much I enjoyed the game. It's a dope game. I guess my underappreciation for it is the fact that how they didn't. I feel like they didn't take fully advantage of like the series and the PS5 by keeping it at 30 frames per second and whatnot. But the thing is, the reason why I'm not playing Watch Dogs now is because I finished the campaign and I'm waiting for the multiplayer, which drops in January, and I'm waiting for the first story expansion, which should be Aiden Pierce.
Okay. Is multiplayer coming to Watch Dogs?
Yes, it's coming out later. It's coming out in January.
Yeah, I'm tripping. They had it on the first 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm bugging. Yeah, I remember. No, actually, the Watch Dogs multiplayer was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, I didn't care for Watch Dogs 2. I played Watch Dogs 1. I played the multiplayer like when it first came out.
Like the invasion, right? You had to hide from somebody. Yeah.
And then
the second one multiplayer.
But yeah, so those are like my 3. I mean, I can easily give you like a top 10, but like some of my 3 favorite games that came out this year that I played this year were Last of Us, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs. Call of the Sea is definitely getting a shout out. That was an amazing game for what it is, and there's some others, but I'll put out a video for that as well. But yeah,
I still gotta beat that, John. I know it won't take long. Shit, I just haven't been playing the game. This is the first time I ain't got on the console in some days, so.
Yeah. So anybody else got anything else before we head out?
Yeah. Games with gold. Finally got some good games. All right, we got Little Nightmares. I'm just speaking of the ones I know about.
That's a good one.
And King of Fighters 13, which was the best one on 360. And
yes,
I never.
This is a
that's the best one. That's the best one. That shit.
I was just about to buy this shit, bro. Like,
it's better than 14.
I'm about to try that out. Dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's better than 14 because especially with the art style, because I didn't like the 3D. I didn't like the 3D. I didn't like the 3D models in 14, but the 2D sprites in 13 makes it way better, in my opinion.
Lit.
You're talking about King of Fighters fighting.
King of Fighters 13.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah.
And K Mega and them on Sundays they do the fighting joint. I seen them playing it one time. So.
Y'all gonna cop MK11? What's up?
Oh, I already got it.
You got it? All right, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it on my Xbox.
Yeah, nah. Somebody's gonna have to game gift that shit to me. I can't see myself buying no damn Mortal Kombat.
I think it's on sale right now with the winter sale that they have.
Good. That's a good enough price for someone to game gift it to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big ass sale.
Yeah, the story is
lit. Is there a huge sale on Xbox right now?
Yeah, they got. I'm hoping. Is Immortal
Sony, Steam, everybody's having the sale right
now. Is Immortals Phoenix?
The PSN sales is crazy right now.
Is Immortals Phoenix Rising still on sale? Because I'm hoping it's still on sale by Christmas. Because if I can get like an Xbox gift card, that is the first game I'm buying, bro. That is the first game I'm buying. Is Immortals Phoenix? They gave me a review code, but I looked at it a week later and the code didn't work. And I reached out.
I really want to play that game too. I'm hearing a lot of good things about that game.
I reached out to them and they didn't want to give me a replacement code. Well, they just never replied. They never replied. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if y'all be on Mortal Kombat and stuff like that, I'll definitely start playing that. I'll buy it, start playing with you guys.
Mortal Kombat X is a better game.
You can run some fades. We can do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whip your ass or something. That Call of Duty shit, man. I'm ready.
Yo, Call of Duty, bro. Yo, Coke, tell them I've been holding my own, bro. I've been holding my own.
We had some good games, though.
We had some good games. When we played Nuketown, this dude Smooth getting fucked up, bro.
But that's Nuketown. That's an outlier. That's an outlier. I don't really care about
the combat record, Smooth. What's your kill death?
I'm still positive. Still positive.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm 1 point something. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me, bro.
Is average though. Yeah, so we average.
No, but like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know, like for some reason, I don't know if it's the frame rate, but Call of Duty, I'm feeling Black Ops Cold War multiplayer wise. The campaign was dope. Good game, overall game. I didn't experience. I know people, kind of shunned the game because, like, especially on next gen consoles, because some people were experiencing issues and whatnot. But I played the game both with ray tracing. I played the game at 120 frames. It's a good game. I enjoy games when I'm good at them. So maybe I'm biased right now. I've been decent at Call of Duty, and I play just enough where I can get off before I start sucking. So.
Oh, and a little point out there for people who play Call of Duty.
Yeah.
If you put your field of view up, you will see a big difference in the game performance.
Yeah.
Just a heads up on that.
Yeah.
They got a field of view on the Xbox One X and the Series X.
Also, I discovered my inner beastie in Gears 5 in 2v2 Nasher mode. So anybody interested in doing that, run with the boy. You know what I mean? We doing it's an easy, quick one, bro.
Aren't you okay? So Gears, the DLC, the Hivebusters, right? That's 3-player co-op, right?
3-player co-op, yeah.
Yeah, no, we did talk about it. We talk. Aren't you Bond and BG doing like a hardest nightmare difficulty or whatever?
Yeah, we're contemplating doing the co-op in January for Inconceivable for Weapon Wheel stream, so that should be interesting. It should be very interesting.
You gonna carry them smooth? You gonna carry both of them?
I'm the best player in a Weapon Wheel.
That's right. Talk your shit.
In Gears 5, I mean, since there's no hard 8 there, I can confidently say I'm the best Gears player in the podcast. Until somebody shows me otherwise. So,
what about BG?
BG's an average to okay player, but he doesn't really play that much.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he's better than me.
I used to be a beast back in Gears 3, but I haven't played it so long. So.
I can tell you, I ain't no damn beast, man. Should I play with Smooth already?
Yeah, I gotta put time into that before I can get good at that game.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to be competent in both Gears and Halo, and then if I can add Call of Duty to the mix, I'll be all right. So
you should add Killer Instinct to it too.
It's funny you say that. I'm installing it right now. I'm at like 60%. I just want to see how.
Let's go, baby.
I just want to see.
I
just want to see how it runs on the Series X, so to see how extra responsive it is. So.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nick will teach you. He'll teach you how to play the game.
I don't think Nick can beat me in Killer Instinct. I'll button match my way to a dub, so I'm good.
Yo, nah, man. You don't even play the game. But all right, so whatever games coming to Game Pass in the next couple of weeks. They've been dropping a lot of gems in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going to Game Pass. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's next. I mean, the Medium comes out next month.
Oh yeah.
So that's the next big one at the end of January. It's the Medium surrounded by a bunch of Yakuza games. Yeah, I think and you mentioned Little Nightmares is a game I completely ignored game but I beat Little Nightmares. I just gotta beat the DLC. I haven't played it. The DLC for Little Nightmares.
I beat the DLC too.
So I haven't played Little Nightmares, but I know it's a side-scrolling game.
Yeah.
Is it like a Metrovania where you go to different places, or is it just
no?
Okay, so it's linear.
It's super linear, but it's like. It's good though. They do some cool things, bro. That is a dope game. I had a good time with that game.
If you played Limbo or Inside, then you know what it's like.
It follows that direction.
I'm hip.
Yep. All right, so it's been 2 hours. I'm about to jump on some Xbox and play some video games. Make sure you guys hit the like button, the subscribe button, share this video out. And if you want the latest TV shows, movie spoiler reviews, subscribe to Spoil Me Nisi. I'm gonna have that in the description below. That is my wife's YouTube channel. So for all the shows that some of them I'll watch, like the actual shows, like Power I watch, so she really can't spoil that for me. But for the other shows that I really not invested in and don't mind being spoiled, check out the in-depth reviews at Spoil Me Nisi, and I'll put the channel link in the description below. But other than that, guys, make sure you hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And as always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. Yeah. I am out of here.
Peace.
Hey, Smooth.